Alright, what's going on, guys? So before the video starts, I just wanted to say to the people who have subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. It really means a lot and it helps out the channel tremendously. And to those who haven't yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out and the channel, and it helps to spread the word. Also, if you haven't liked the video yet, then please also consider doing that if it helped you out or you enjoyed the content. Now, all that being said, I will jump straight into the actual video. So, when you start off, you're going to be in Electro. You're going to want to find Electro, and this tutorial is for those who know where that is already. If you don't, you can just look it up on a map. It's pretty simple. But on screen here, you're going to see exactly where Electro is. And it's actually not that hard to find. You're going to be spawning in, and you can pretty much find the town by spawning in on any of the spawns and finding the coast and putting the water on your left shoulder and heading down the coast that way. You'll eventually come to Electro if you're not already there. But once you find Electro, that's where this whole thing will start. So in Electro itself, there's two wells that I like to use in the middle of the town. And you'll be able to get your hydration all the way back up, because when you spawn in, if you don't already know, you're going to spawn in halfway dehydrated. And as you can see on the gameplay, I'm finding stuff pretty quick, and actually I'm playing on a highly populated server, just to prove my point that you can still find loot regardless of the population and the length that the server has actually been up. It's much easier, yes, to find stuff when it just restarts or it's a low populated server, but I was surprised too. It really did only take me like an hour, just under an hour, to find all of this and get up to the Northwest Airfield, which is our end goal for this loot run. And there's a lot of stuff in between, and I'll be going over all of that. It's pretty simple. This is like a beginner's loot run that I actually use myself pretty much every single time I want to get fully kitted, because it's so quick. And Electro is obviously filled with tons of buildings. There's the police station, the fire station, there's these little checkpoints that you see me looting, also mini police stations that I'll kind of point out when we get there, and then residential buildings obviously, and the store. I mean, there's a military tent, and okay, you're gonna see on screen something real quick and I'm gonna cut out. Okay, so I know you guys are going to be a little bit mad after seeing that probably, but the guy was limping around. He had a gun and also a UK assault vest, and I couldn't pass it up. I had to do it for the sake of the video. It's for you guys, I swear. But okay, so you can see the road that I'm heading down right now, and this is the road that you're going to want to find. So it's in the back of the town, going up Sniper Hill. If you don't know what that is, just forget what I said. It's right next to these smokestacks. And if you go to the middle of the town, like where the military tent is and the school, you'll find the main road and you just follow it back. It's straight up north. Obviously you can see, go past the church, and actually you're going to be running into a few like log cabins and more residential houses, so you'll be able to find the gun if you haven't already. Now, after you head down the road, it's going to take a little bit. You're going to keep heading down that road, just keep following it, and you'll eventually come to this location, which you're seeing here. And this is the first point of interest on the loot run. And this is a military checkpoint. It's actually not that far out of Electro, probably takes 5 to 10 minutes, maybe, to get here. And you're going to come across these two military tents, and as you'll see, there's actually still stuff left over. I ended up getting some Stanag mags and military clothing. So, the things that you're going to be finding, it's definitely more looted than somewhere like Tissy. Currently, like on Xbox, for instance, people don't really go that far up north. Every time I've been up there on Xbox, it's been pretty dry in population, and there's been just tons of loot because nobody knows how to get up there yet. And that's what this tutorial is kind of aiming to do, is to push new players, I mean especially geared towards Xbox players, push them up north more so that you're less scared of getting lost. Because, I mean, obviously when you first start playing the game, it's like, hey, you know, the coast is safe. There's a lot of people, I know where I am. And when you go up north, it's kind of scary. Okay, so you're going to be heading up the road, continuing down the road the exact same way you were heading. And you're going to come to this little town, and it has this dirt path. that you're seeing me walk on right now, you're going to want to head down the road just like I am right here, and you'll be passing this scaffolding, and that's like one of the big landmarks that you're going to know you're in the right spot. And this is where it's going to get a little confusing, so you're going to want to head up this hill, kind of like you're splitting the fork in the road back there, and you're going diagonal in between both roads. And I swear, you're just going to keep heading up this hill, and once you crest the hill, you'll see a log cabin and some other buildings, and there will be a paved road. That's where you're trying to get to, is a paved road at the top of this hill. If anything else, just try to find that road. It's really not that hard to find, and it doesn't take that long. And I'll cut here in a second. Okay, so this is the log cabin I'm talking about. Yeah, you just keep going up the hill and you'll find this. It's really simple. You can loot it. It does spawn weapons, and there's also a town to the left down that road, but that's not part of the loot run. If you need food or water, then by all means go down there and find the food and water that you need, or if you want a gun, then pick that up too. But for the purposes of this loot run, you're going to want to head right, not left. And as you see, I'm just unloading an AK mag here so that I can load the IZ that's on my back. But yeah, you're just going to want to head straight down this road. Now this is going to be the longest pathway in the loot run, with no stops. Like, this will take the majority of the time because you're heading from where you are now, which is fairly close to Electro, all the way up to Novi Sober and Starry. And Starry is really the next stop that is going to be major on the loot run, because Starry has a massive military base. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say massive, but a lot of military tents, and there's going to be a lot of gear there. So just head down this road, and I'll show you what it looks like once you get to the place you're supposed to be in a second. Okay, so after heading probably 20 to 30 minutes maybe up the road, you're going to come across something that looks like this. There's going to be this big boxy orange brick building on the right, and then there's going to be a barn on the left. And in the distance you'll see there's a police station. You don't have to go there because you may already have pretty good gear from the military tents and things that you've already looted. But for the purposes of the video, I actually went there trying to find something like an MP5 or maybe a sidearm, just whatever I could. But you don't have to. You could just head up this road here until you reach the big church, cathedral type building, and take a left and head down that main road, and you'll reach Starry. Starry is right across the road. But obviously for the purposes of this video, I tried to loot the police station and actually ran into a little bit of trouble. Now, if you didn't know you could do this, this is definitely a nice way to get away from zombies, but you're definitely an open target, and I was being a little bit reckless here because Novi is a place that people go to a lot, so just a fair warning if you're going to try doing this. Be careful you don't get shot in the head. Okay, so this is the big main road that I was talking about. Obviously you can see the church. You're just going to want to head straight down this way, and if you want a little bit of a shortcut, you'll see what I do in a second. I actually veer off and go through the field straight towards the lollipop. That's what I call it. I think it's supposed to be a water tower. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like a lollipop. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. You're just going to want to head straight to that lollipop, and at the base is all the military tents. So it's a pretty good landmark to follow. It's something that you'll immediately recognize once you get here. Okay, so now something you want to keep in mind, the base here, or just military tents like you can see I just got shot at, are a hotspot. They're places that people go to a lot to get gear, so just keep that in mind when you're looting. Loot cautiously. And then as you can see here, I'm just kind of eyeing where this guy was, but it turns out that he's just kind of gone and I never really saw him again. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Like I was saying, any of the military zones that I'm talking about, especially the Northwest Airfield, once we get there, are going to be hot zones. So as you can see, I just continued up this main road. You're just going to keep on running the direction I was going. There's also a main well back there in Starry, and you're eventually going to run up to this town. It's going to take a little bit, probably like 5 minutes to get up to this point where I am. And this town isn't that big of a hotspot, so you don't have to worry as much about people, but still, obviously, stay cautious because it's DayZ. But yeah, you're going to want to run up this road, and I think here in a second you're going to see that it changes time of day because the server actually kicked me off when I got up here, and I had to rerun a little bit up here, and it was like a little bit later, so I think it's a bit darker in the next clip coming up. Okay, so you're just going to run literally right past that house, and you're going to see this sign, and you're going to take a really sharp right and zoom in once I do that footage. It's pretty simple. You're just going to be running, and you're going to zoom in, and you're going to see that there's a wall with a bunch of little watchtowers and a chain link fence in front of it. So that's it. You're at the Northwest Airfield once you enter that wall. I'm gonna leave the actual footage of the Northwest Airfield, like the gameplay of it, out because this is geared towards new players, and I kind of want to leave it as a surprise if you haven't already seen it. With 0.63, there's obviously a new update, so it's just totally revamped and new, and I want the new people to Xbox and also PC if you're playing there just to have a cool experience exploring. Alright, so that's pretty much the loot run. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to complete, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, just leave a thumbs up. It really, really helps out the channel, and I'd really appreciate that and a subscription. But until next time, see you guys later.